What about the people who were told they're not supposed to be here yet during near-death experiences? Hey guys, it's John, and I'm so happy to be here to answer this specific question. I find this question fascinating because guess what? I'm one of them. I was told you're not supposed to be here yet and was tickled back into my body. And I mean literally tickled back into my body. This is a very interesting concept to me because, as I said, I had the experience. But, I often talk about having free will and, being the creator of your experience. The interesting thing about this is when you're told you're not supposed to be here yet, and tying that into the concept of agreements, let me just read what she said. She asked, I agree we have agreements and arrangements and free will. What are your thoughts about people being sent back during near-death experiences being told it's not your time or you're not supposed to be here? I want to first say the agreements and arrangements. That's a very physical world construct. The other world is very different. It's not, the other side is not, it doesn't need the structure. It doesn't need the contracts or the arrangements. It's, I really look at coming to the physical as saying I'm choosing a potential. When it comes to the idea of not being told you're not supposed to be here yet, I also believe that you can have a larger potential choice that you've made. It doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have free will, because if you think about it this way, if you went over and you're told you're not supposed to be there yet, that means that you had the choice. You had the opportunity to go back. That means that you, on some level, chose to go back to the other side and experience that. And they said, you're not supposed to be here yet because you made a choice that wasn't in your bigger plan that you chose. Bigger idea that you had, bigger potential that you had. So when I look at my own personal experience, I was practicing astral travel at the time. I was going out of body and learning the technique of astral travel. And I missed. I bypassed and ended up standing in the pure white expanse. And this man looked at me and he smiled and he said, you're not supposed to be here yet. He turned, and these two people came over and basically tickled my body. He basically poked the physical so that the consciousness would drop back into the physical. And I woke, and I kind of came out of it, woke, whatever you say, came out of it laughing. But this question, and what people ask me about this kind of stuff all the time, is it wraps in, people are too in their head about it. It just is. I am that I am. It just is. When you get stuck into having to explain everything, you're actually going down pathways rather than experiences. I have to explain this. I have to do this. I have to get my head wrapped around it. And the Adam and Eve story, they ate from the tree of knowledge. They got kicked out of paradise, right? They got in their heads and out of their hearts, into their feelings. I had a guy sharing a tent with me one time at a festival. I had my first Kundalini rising in that tent. He had been trying to have one for years. But I had one. Why? Because I was in the experience as opposed to into the method to get there. And so he was in his head and I was in my heart. And that's precisely why. The need to define, the need to add structure, the need to have the hierarchies, the need to have, that's all a very physical world trying to explain things sort of position. You don't need to explain it. You just need to explore it. You just need to play with it, have fun with it. I talk to people all the time about their various spiritual experiences, and it's very interesting to me that many of them are very, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. And I haven't found that at all. I haven't found that I had to do it anyway, except for just to believe I was doing it. And now going back to this, being sent back during NDEs and the concept of maybe a bigger choice that you made, a bigger potential life that you made. And I told you I got kicked back myself. I have, in my own personal life, I have read and got into my head about what the line in the book of John says, where he says that the apostles thought that John would not die, right? I pondered that for the longest of times. I went down that route. And when I got kicked back, my first thought was, well, maybe John was supposed to stay in the physical, which goes back to my regression. It was like a choice that John made to stay here until Jeshua comes back or whatever. I'm not into the second coming thing either. So, because I think we're all one. But it's a matter of keeping a vibration here. Keeping, that would be a bigger potential choice that one could make. Yeah, I'll do that. That'd be cool, But it's not about, I have this extreme mission. I have this extreme thing I must do. I have a contract that I must fulfill. Those are all heavy, furrow your brow thoughts. And most of the time, those kind of thoughts are used for justification about why your life sucks. Why did I choose this? Why did I choose that? Why are you still choosing it? That's the question you have to ask yourself. You have free will. Why are you still choosing it? Why haven't you decided to make your life different and change it if you don't like it? God speaks to us in our feelings. And if we feel like it sucks, then God's saying, this sucks, why don't you do something else? And then you can choose something else. So when I look at this idea of why my thoughts on people being sent back from NDEs, it just, first of all, I would say it just is. Second of all, we choose potential lives, in my opinion, and the potential life of is not encompassed by one physical world experience. I think that all things are possible. And so maybe some people chose to play the longer game. And so that would be my thought on this. And I think I did a video on the John not dying thing a long time ago. I have often wondered whether John of old kind of has stuck around in this plane and just never stayed back on the other side. So to me, it was a very interesting thing. But like I say, sometimes we choose the longer game, sometimes we don't, and sometimes we play these potentials. But it's not a contract. It's not necessarily an arrangement. It's a choice. It's a choice. And the weird part about this story is also in my regression. If you ever heard my regression, I talk about staying here and holding a vibration here. And it's an interesting concept, right? To stick into this one reality and hold a vibration here. And I've noticed in all of my private sessions, there's a lot of people who come here and don't feel right here. And I really, truly believe they're here because of the vibration they hold. They come here because we are shifting into a new humanity and a new place. And they chose to come here or are coming here or stepping into this potential of here. And they're bringing this vibration. And I think that I see it in the people I talk to. But is it a contract? Nope. Did they have to come? Nope. Were they forced to come? Nope. They chose the potential. And maybe on some grand scale, in the oneness of God and the consciousness of all, they're like, oh, I choose the potential of going there and helping evolve the humanity, or bring about a new level of love and experience. And so that's my thought on this. But I would say release the idea of agreements and contracts and arrangements, and because there's no reason to even think about that. I am that I am is not I was that I was, or not what I'm told to do, what I'm told to do. It's I am that I am. It's be very present. And no matter what happens in your near-death experiences, no matter what happens there, it only matters who you are in the here and now. And you have those experiences, you get that idea, you come back here, and why'd you come back here? So you can do something in the present. So be very present. That's my thought on this. And so you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. The John of New channel is solely funded by your generous donations and purchases of private readings and merchandise. To help out, go to johnofnew.com or use the donation link in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.